For this project, I'm using a program called Procreate. I really like this tool because it offers video recording playback, and in this case it's pretty cool to be able to share with you guys. So starting the playback, see I start with the head. And I was playing around with the brushes a little bit, trying to find quite the right brush, the right kind of flat edges, not so soft. So it took a little while to get used to, and then I just kind of started drawing over top, doing my best inking impression. Ended up inverting some of the inking here because I thought the black lines weren't going to show through, so kind of having that Frank Miller-ish sort of feel. And then moving around the body, trying to stay true to Jim's original pencil lines. And I had some things that were open to interpretation. I couldn't necessarily call Jim up and say, hey, what did you think of this part? Or what was your thought here as far as light? This big chest piece here was pretty obvious that it was supposed to be all black. So another example of inverting and then going over with white ink. This piece, there was a lot of intricate pencil work in here. Jim is awesome. His pencils are so tight. It's so great. Again, over here on this side with it, where his gloves match with his cape. Now I get working on Robin's face. And this is, of course, not the speed that I was drawing at. I like the pressure sensitivity. I'm using an iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil, so I'm able to get thick and thin lines just by using my normal drawing techniques, everything I've done all my life. So thicker lines by pressing down a little harder, lighter, more delicate lines. And Procreate does a really good job with that pressure sensitivity. I'm just doing a little cleanup, working on her hand. Pretty straightforward for a lot of this. I did have problems kind of with this bottom area below their legs and this part of his leg. Like this is crazy detail, like all these lines. I'm like, oh my god. Now you get kind of lost in what you're looking at because I know his pants are ripped. It's like, well, where does the cloth start and the skin? Where are all these things in there? You notice I tried a couple different, I tried to put down a pattern. Didn't really like that. See me doing that here and there. I don't like using the patterns often. It's kind of more of an anime feel. But I think using it sparingly helps. Yeah, this leg was kind of interesting. I didn't know what was going on here, so. Now we're going to move up. I'm going to start the background here. Couldn't tell if this was a cave. That's what I interpreted it originally as, so I was thinking this is rock formation. I had to take a break from that after I started penciling it for a while, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to do the signature. So here is me kind of experimenting with what this background is, and then thought I'd do a real heavy, thick kind of black background to let the figures really kind of stand out, and I ended up playing with some textures in the back, doing some lines, cross hatching, and I liked that, and you can see for a second there, but then I'm like, well, it's not interpreting Jim's drawing very well, so I thought, well, maybe this is smoke. So that's where I finally end up doing an interpretation of inked smoke. And here's my final inked piece.